So today I'll be talking about the quantitative reasoning section in GMAT paper. So why is there a quantitative reasoning section? Let us talk about that. So basically the quantitative reasoning it is designed to test your logical reasoning abilities. One use of quantitative reasoning is this: it is used to assess your logical reasoning abilities. And second, it helps to understand your suitability for management graduate degree program in foreign countries. So basically, while you are applying for MBA, the quantitative reasoning is one of the major sections which tests whether you are a suitable candidate for this degree or not, like whether you'll be able to handle this degree or not. So basically that's why the quantitative reasoning section is asked. And let me give a crux about what are the basic concepts which are asked. So these concepts include arithmetic, algebra, equations, and the last topic is statistics. So these are some of the major concepts which are covered in quantitative reasoning, which are arithmetic, algebra, equations, and statistics. So don't worry, you don't need to worry about these topics. I'll be covering more about these topics in upcoming further videos, and we'll be practicing a lot of more questions which would help you go about these concepts very easily and help you to solve more number of questions. So what's the pattern? So there are 21 questions to be solved in 45 minutes. So in 45 minutes you have to solve 21 questions of quantitative reasoning. These are usually easy to mediocre based questions. You just have to use your brains to answer these questions. I would say this is basic maths which you would have done in your secondary or higher secondary classes. If you have some basic ideas about how to solve linear equations or some quadratic equations, you can go about this. And in statistics, usually basic mean, mode, median are asked, and algebra basic questions are only asked. You can solve them, but you just have to apply some logics. I would say this is one of the important topics, important sections. If you want to have a better GMAT score or get into a better college for pursuing MBA, you have to give a major focus on quantitative reasoning. It can give you a lot of marks if you do it well. What are the question types? The question can range from problem solving, data insights, word problems, ratio proportion, powers, exponents, letters like exponents, and roots. Also table analysis, graphic interpretations. These are some of the question types. Now don't confuse between concepts and question types. Concepts are on what basis the question is asked, and question types mean how the question is asked. The question may be about a problem solving. You might be given a basic problem and you have to get out the answer from that problem, or some data you might be given some data, you have to analyze that data, get your constants and solve the equations, exponents and roots, basic simple things. Now, what all are the topics in each of this section? In problem solving, you require basic math like word problems, integer, arithmetic problems, algebra, percentages, and all that. It could even include 2D geometry like your Cartesian planes, all that questions that comes with the problem solving. The major part of the quantitative reasoning is like based on problem solving only. If you have a good grip on basic mathematical knowledge and good mathematical skills, you can go about problem solving very easily. And given that 45 minutes, you are given 45 minutes for the complete quantitative reasoning, 21 questions, like for each question you are given 2 minutes, and I think which is a basic is sufficient for questions which usually come in GMAT. There might be some questions which are little tricky, but you can solve the easier ones early, and you can solve the easier ones and give more time to the tricky questions, or I would say hard questions, which you think which might you would say. And let us talk about the syllabus. So in arithmetic, number theory and systems, in algebra, permutation and combination can be asked. It is a very interesting topic. You have to practice a lot of questions in permutation combination, but you can solve these questions. Geometry can also be asked. Geometry can also be asked. Usually lines, angles, and all these topics are covered in geometry. Triangles, quadrilaterals, basic properties, solving some basic questions on circles or some solids. In algebra, you can be assessed on functions or expressions and equations, monomials, polynomials, and all those topics. As I said earlier, these are some basic concepts which you have learned in your secondary or higher secondary, and you just have to apply those concepts on solving these questions. And also arithmetic progression and geometric progression is also a major topic. Profit, loss, simple interest, compound interest, all these topics come under quantitative reasoning. So as I said earlier, just don't worry about how to solve these questions, how to solve APGP questions or how to solve geometry. I'll be covering these concepts in my further coming videos. First of all, in the next video, I'll be talking about data sufficiency, which is another subpart or section which is covered in GMAT exam. So first I would give you a crux of all the sections, then I would proceed to some theoretical parts about all these sections, like how to go about the questions or some of the major concepts which you need, and then we'll move on to the questions, and further we would solve some sample papers and all that. So that's all for today. Thank you. Be tuned. Subscribe, comment,